Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use masks along with the Sunray filter. If you're not familiar with the Sunray filter, take a look at the previous video that I did on the Luminar 2018 Sunray filter. Now I've already set this image up. It's the same image that I used in the last video. And I've played with the settings just a bit, and you can see that the sunray is pretty pronounced. So now let's take a look at the masks to see how we can limit, restrict, or pick where the sun rays show up. So now I'm going over to the Sunray filter. I've clicked upon the little brush icon on the right hand side, upper right side of the filter. And I'm going to choose luminosity. This is a simple one. And by selecting it, it's going to build a luminosity mask, meaning it's going to build a mask based upon the brightness of the image, and it's going to apply the Sunray plugin based upon that luminosity mask. And in its default setting, it looks pretty good. Now, if I want to reduce some of what's showing up or increase some of what's showing up, I can do that using the brush tool. If I go back over and click on the little brush tool and choose brush, you'll see that we now have a new set of options on the upper left here. Under mask, we've got some choices, but one of them is show mask. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and you can see how it's applied that luminosity mask to the image. If I want to reduce that or remove it, I can click on the erase button right here, and I can go through, and you'll see as I eliminate from different places, the mask is going away. Now, I wanted you to be able to see that, but when I work with it, I turn the mask off, and then I will go ahead and I will reduce the Sunray filter where I don't want it. And there we go. There's a great example of how you can use the luminosity mask and the brush tool with the erase brush to control how the Sunray filter is applied to your image. The next thing let's do is take a look at how the gradient tool works. I'm going to click over on mask, and I'm going to clear it, and that's going to clear everything out. You'll notice that nothing is showing from the Sunray filter because we don't have any mask showing where it can be applied. So let's come back over to the brush, click on it, and choose gradient mask, and I'm going to click and drag down, and you'll see as I do so, it appears. Now if I grab the center, I can increase or reduce the amount of Sunray filter that's showing up at the top, and I can drag down to get some of it showing up at the bottom. We could also rotate it if we want it to be a little bit at an angle, and I'll just bring it back square to the image. So the next thing let's do is let's go over to mask and clear it, and we've just cleared the gradient mask off of there. Go back over to our brush, click on it, and let's grab the radio mask. Now the radio mask wants me to click and drag to draw a circle, so I click in the center of where I want the sun to be, click, hold down, drag out, and you can see that it's doing the opposite of what we want, at least in this case. And to correct that, we come over here to the radial mask buttons, the options, and we click on invert. And now what's happening is that's showing it inside the radial mask. So now I'm going to increase the horizontal width of the radial mask by grabbing one of the control handles and dragging to the right. And I'm going to reduce the height of it by dragging the bottom control handle and dragging it down that way. So now you can see that I've restricted the way the Sunray filter shows up based upon the settings that I had to start with. I'm controlling how the Sunray filter shows up on this image. Now let's go ahead and clear it again by going over to Mask, Clear. Notice that we don't see any of the Sunray filter. We'll go back over to the brush, click it, turn on brush, and we're still in erase because we did that to begin with. Let's turn paint on, and at this point let's increase the size by clicking on the right bracket, square bracket on the keyboard. We could come here and we could change the size this way as well. And let's take a look at softness. I click on it and then I drag it, and you'll notice softness changes how big the inner circle is, which determines the range of softness within the outer part of the circle itself. Opacity, same thing. We'll click on that, and opacity is going to determine how much of the mask is applied. So I've reduced it a little bit, softened it a little bit, and let's go right around where the sun is, and you'll see this time it's going to apply. It's going to take a bit more brushing to get it to show up. So I will continue to add sun rays. And let's say that I want to reduce the amount that's showing up at the bottom. I'll go up to Erase. And I'm going to reduce what's showing up here, and maybe even reduce a little bit at the top. So there you go. We've now used the brush tool to add the Sunray filter effect to the image, and then we reduced it or removed some of the rays as they showed up. So I hope this has helped. Enjoy working with Luminar 2018, and when you're flying your drones, fly safe and have fun.